We are now going to get our encounter cards, but because breaking and taking is still out, what the hazard icon means is we are going to get an additional encounter card for this phase. So we are going to get 2 encounter cards ready to resolve. So our first encounter card is a Hydra mercenary. He is going to come in with guard, which means that we are not allowed to attack Rhino until the Hydra mercenary is dealt with. The second encounter card is I'm tough, so that is going to give Rhino a tough status card, which, as we've said before, means that the next lot of damage that is dealt to him is completely cancelled. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use Daredevil to begin with. We're going to get rid of breaking and taking, which will mean that we only get 1 encounter card next phase. And his 1 damage we are going to put on the Hydra mercenary. Black Cat is going to attack for 1, hitting the tough off of Rhino. We are going to punch with Spider-Man for 2 to take out the Hydra mercenary. Then we again have another swinging web kick, so we can do a big amount of damage. We can do a big chunk of the damage that Rhino needs to take him down. We also have Haymaker. Haymaker only deals 3 damage. So we have 8 and another 3. We don't quite have the damage to completely take Rhino out this turn. So what we are going to do we are going to spend our Genius and our Tenacity for 3 resources to do the swinging web kick, taking Rhino down to 6 health. We are going to use our web shooter and the spider tracer to do a Haymaker, dealing an additional 3 damage, taking Rhino down to 3. And although I'd love to get Aunt May out, she does a great amount of healing when we go down to Alter Ego. We are so close to the end, and potentially flipping down and allowing Rhino and Sandman to both scheme and add extra threat to that main could lose us the game. So I think we're going to get rid of Aunt May at this point. We're going to discard her from our hand. We're going to ready up. I'm going to draw up. So we get First Aid, we get the Power of Justice, we get Webbed Up, we get an Avengers Mansion, and we get a Helicarrier. Not a ton of useful cards ready for next turn. I would love to backflip, but we're going to see if we can survive. And if we survive, potentially we have the damage. So we're going to start off. Rhino's going to add a 3rd threat to the break-in. he is then going to look across. He sees Spider-Man still stood there. He's going to attack. We are going to defend this turn. So in defending, we're going to exhaust ourselves in the villain phase. We don't get to ready up again until the end of our phase. So we are sacrificing a basic activation. What I should do first is he initiates the attack. We get to draw a card, which is Heroic Intuition. So he is going to attack us. We are defending. We have a basic defense of 3. He has a basic attack of 3. So he is going to do... We got very lucky there. 0 boost icons. We defend completely. Sandman will hit us for 3. And knock us down to 1 health. We get our encounter card, which is going to be a Stampede. So Rhino is going to attack again. We get to draw a card again. Would have loved that as the first card. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So we cannot defend again. We only have 1 health, so we're going to have to sacrifice one of our allies. And that also means that we won't have the damage, sadly. So we are going to sacrifice Daredevil for this one. So Rhino is going to attack for 3, 4, 5 with 2 boost icons. Daredevil goes to our discard pile. And it goes on to the player phase. Now, we didn't get the greatest hands. We haven't got any more damage. We were relying on the damage from either staying up ourselves or from Daredevil to prevent us from, well, to have all of the damage that we need. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a bit of a risk. We're going to spend 4 cards. We're spending Enhanced Spider Sense because that cancels a treachery. We're not going to get one of those again until the next villain phase. We're going to spend Heroic Intuition. We don't really have a lot of use of additional thwart at the minute when we're looking for damage. We're going to use Webbed Up. Yeah, and we're going to use the Power of Justice. Power of Justice would generate 2 cards for a Justice card. We don't actually have a Justice card. But we might get one when we draw up. So I'm actually going to spend Helicarrier. And we're going to put in an Avengers Mansion. Now, Avengers Mansion is going to draw us a card. Another Enhanced Spider Sense. So, I think that might be game. We will play through, but I believe... Right, it might not be game. Sorry, flip-flopping there. I'm going to spend the Power of Justice to do a first aid on Spider-Man, taking him back up to 3 life. We don't ready yet. Black Cat is going to attack Rhino for 1, taking him down to 2 life. And that will be the end of our turn. We're actually going to hold on to the Enhanced Spider Sense, as that could cancel a bad treachery if it comes out. We're going to ready back up. We're going to keep hold of this 1 card, so we draw up another 4. So we get a 4 Justice. We get a Power of Justice. We get a Swinging Web Kick. and we get a Heroic Intuition. Still have 2 cards in our deck. So we've done everything. We're going to add a 4th threat onto the main scheme. Up to 4 out of 7. Rhino is going to attack us. Black Cat is going to heroically jump in the way for us. So he's going to attack for 3, 4. Should have triggered Peter's spider response, which would have given us a backflip. Slight rewind here. So Black Cat isn't going to jump in the way of it. We would have drawn the backflip before Rhino attacked. He attacks for 4, and we are going to backflip out of that. Then Sandman is going to attack for 3, and Black Cat is going to block that. So backflip is a defense card. When you use it, you cancel an entire attack. You cancel any damage that you would take from that attack. So we are then going to get our bad card, which is going to be Caught Off Guard. So we will lose our web shooter. We're going to keep hold of the Avengers Mansion, and we're going into the final turn. We could exhaust Avengers Mansion, draw our last card. We would take an encounter card for decking out. I mean, we have enough damage that we're not going to have to worry about that, luckily. Shuffle back up. And we could use a Power of Justice to use to play a surveillance team, which would come in with 3 snoop counters. We can exhaust that, remove 1 snoop counter to remove a threat off the main scheme. Luckily, we're not in too bad a situation. We will then spend our last 3 cards to play the Swinging Web Kick on Sandman and knock him out. And then we will punch the final 2 damage onto Rhino to defeat him. So in that game, I was only planning on doing 2 turns. It ended up being a 4th turn kill, or a 4th turn victory. Because let's face it, no hero kills. We've captured Rhino and thrown him away in jail. That went very well. Managed to get a lot of damage out very quickly. We were lucky that the scheme didn't go up too high. Justice is very good at removing threats, so having that to help Spider-Man, who has a low threat removal on his hero card with only just a 1 thwart, can really help him balance out his kit. This isn't my favourite way to play Spider-Man, but this was the pre-constructed deck that comes in the box, and this was the first deck that I ever used when I started playing the game. So with Rhino defeated, we are going to say goodbye for now. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, happy gaming.